Angel Reese, back in the gym, working on her pull-up, bang. Working on her midi, working on her mid-range game, 15 to 17 feet out.
The Indiana Fever squad has been putting in serious work this offseason, grinding day in and day out. Their training clips blowing up online. Caitlin Clark alone pulled nearly 2 million views in just one day. And then, out of nowhere, Angel Reese's camp conveniently drops a workout video of their own. Let's be real, it feels less like motivation and more like a rushed attempt to ride the Fever's viral wave.
Let's get it! Knockdown! Bang!
Man, we got a fire on the poop deck. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! 4!
Bang!
Mayday!
Mayday!
Clear the runway! Brace for impact! AR-5 coming in heavy!
Bang!
Look alive, sunshine. Long 2, will it go through? Haha, no chance. Bang. Is it me, or is there only 2 rows behind the bench and they're like half full? I get better attendance on Monday nights in my men's league.
Come on, man! Bang!
While the Fever's clips highlight Aaliyah Boston locking in on post moves and Lexi Hull sharpening her three-point shot for real in-game moments, Angel Reese's latest video, it's got her chucking up threes like she's auditioning to be the next Steph Curry. You know, the same shot she doesn't exactly need, considering she struggled to even finish around the rim last season, hitting just 44.5% from inside 5 feet. Let's break down what's really going on here, and why Reese and her team seem to be completely missing the bigger picture. And hey, if you're hyped for the Fever's 2025 season, drop champion in the comments. Let's ride.
We got some footage from in the lab. That's right, she's in the damn gym. I'm just gonna keep it real. I guess hell has frozen over, but she is in the gym practicing shots. And as you can imagine, there's real reaction to this.
Have you been paying attention to what the Indiana Fever are doing this offseason? The entire squad has been locked in at the gym, and their grind is going viral for all the right reasons. These aren't just flashy clips, they're showing us what real championship work looks like. While some teams just say they're putting in the effort, the Fever are actually showing it. Every rep, every drill, step by step.
How are you? Good, how are you? So finally to meet you.
Yes.
What really jumps out in these workouts is how locked in the details are. Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull aren't just out there getting shots up, they're working with purpose. They're sharpening their three-point accuracy, learning to finish strong through contact, and building mid-range skills that fit seamlessly with Caitlin Clark's playmaking style. Hull's training is especially worth noting. She's dialed in on her catch-and-shoot mechanics and drilling screen actions, both of which are key pieces in the Fever's fast-paced, movement-heavy offense that's set to open up big-time scoring chances next season. What really sets these off-season clips apart is the presence of Keith Porter, the Fever's player development coach, actively working with the team. He's not just standing on the sidelines, he's hands-on, giving real-time feedback and direction. He even made the trip to Massachusetts to train one-on-one with Aaliyah Boston, showing just how invested the franchise is in every player's individual progress. These aren't just casual shoot-arounds, these are focused, customized sessions built to sharpen each athlete's game where it matters most.
What's up, Fever family? It's Coach Keith Porter. Today I got Aaliyah Boston in the gym. We're gonna working on some footwork, getting up and down the floor. Just working on being better today.
Are you ready for my hit?
Like, we'll make 5 hours. I need to build them backwards. Yeah. So eventually we're gonna get to like our whole set, but we're gonna isolate every single action and motion in it. Yeah. So this is just one of those fucked up motions.
Aaliyah Boston's offseason grind is all about smart adjustments. After defenses began locking in on her late last season, she's answering back with precision, adding polished left-handed post moves and a dependable floater to her bag. This isn't just random training, it's a focused response to the challenges she faced. Boston isn't just staying sharp, she's upgrading her entire game with intention and strategy. The vets are just as dialed in. Natasha Howard, Brianna Turner, and Damiris Dantas are zeroing in on pick-and-roll execution, gearing up to take full advantage of every window Caitlin Clark's playmaking opens up. What makes this stand out is how their individual work feeds right into the bigger picture. The Fever aren't just training hard, they're building a system where personal growth powers team success.
I train about 4 or 5 days a week. A lot of young guns out there now that, they want to take your spot, and I don't blame them, but it's going to be hard because I'm going to go after it.
What makes these training clips so impressive is how directly they translate to real game moments. When Lexi Hull works on her shooting, it's not just random practice. It's a clear preview of how she'll rack up points next season. Picture Caitlin Clark drawing in defenders, then kicking it out to Hull for the open look. Every drill is intentional, every rep tied to a specific role in the Fever's game plan.
Lexi Hull being back in Indiana, in the gym, working out. We saw Keith Porter in there. We saw Lexi shooting her shot. We saw Lexi with reverse layups.
This isn't just about getting in shape. It's a real-time blueprint for a title run. Every Fever player is sharpening key areas of their game, turning weaknesses into strengths, all while staying locked into a system built for team success. They're not just training, they're constructing an offensive powerhouse where every role matters and every skill has a purpose. Meanwhile, after months of red carpets and media tours, Angel Reese's team suddenly dropped a workout video, right as the Fever's grind was going viral, and fans, yeah, they noticed. The timing felt off, and people were quick to point out that it looked more like a PR scramble than a serious training moment. The line between real preparation and performative effort just got a whole lot clearer.
Angel Reese back in the gym practicing the 15 to 17 foot, but we see a lot in the Angel Reese practice footage of her working on this type of game, right? There's not too many practice videos that have been released on the Angel Reese front that doesn't involve her working with Lisa Leslie, that you see her working on her post moves, working around finishing around the basket, finishing around the rim.
Let's break down what's actually happening in this video. Angel Reese, a 6'3" post player who struggled significantly with finishing at the rim last season, is seen practicing long 2-pointers and 3-pointers. You know, the shots she almost never attempts or makes in real games. This disconnect between the areas she needs to improve on the court and what she's focusing on in training has left both fans and analysts scratching their heads.
Nobody's guarding you. There's no chance you're gonna get your shot blocked if you take a 3. Nobody's guarding you. There's like no way.
Way!
How does she get her shot blocked all the time, man?
I don't get it!
Never seen a professional basketball player make a layup look so awkward, so uncoordinated. Goes off the wrong foot. Call it the poopity scoopity shot.
Bang!
When little bro thinks he can play against the big bro.
Who's your daddy? Bang!
Angel, do the Dirk. Yeah, you know, the Dirk. That fall away. Do it. Yeah, look at that bag work.
Bang!
This league rocks.
Bang!
Chicago Sky fans are especially vocal about their frustration. One fan directly asked, why is it Angel Reese's PR team putting this out and not the Chicago Sky? Another fan highlighted the glaring issue, pointing out that Reese should be working on her inside game, but instead she's practicing 3-pointers, something that's not even part of her role. The criticism underscores a fan base that clearly understands basketball fundamentals better than the training being showcased.
Feel somebody on your left side, like Pope says, feel somebody on your left side, turn right. Feel somebody on your right side, turn left. We don't really see that with the Angel Reese workout videos. We see a lot of this, a lot of jump shots, set shots, catch and shoot, dribble, dribble, shot, dribble, dribble, pull up. Maybe we'll take it to the lane from 15 feet out on a drive, but not too much post play.
What's strikingly missing from Reese's video is any involvement from the Chicago Sky's coaching staff. There's no structured development plan, no professional guidance to fine-tune her drills around her specific weaknesses. Instead, it's just Angel, a camera, and what looks like a last-minute session meant more for social media likes than actual skill improvement. Considering Reese's dismal 44.5% shooting from under 5 feet last season, one of the lowest in WNBA history for a player taking that many shots from that range, it raises the question, why is she focusing on perimeter shooting instead of working on her finishing skills? With her overall field goal percentage sitting at a troubling 39.1%, her focus should clearly be on improving layups and close-range scoring, not 3-point attempts.
This is like WNBA leveling up and all eyes on her now. I think that she knows that she has to completely restructure her form because that is not the way to be efficient in the post position that she is in. At the post position that she's in, a layup is supposed to be a given. She needs to improve her touch around the rim, like all over the place, but she seems to take these desperation shots.
What's even more revealing is that Reese seems to be brushing off advice from basketball legend Lisa Leslie, who is said to have shared her insights with her.
Going into my season 2, what's some advice that you would give for me? Season 2, I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period.
Shaquille O'Neal has also weighed in, advising her to focus on improving her game inside the paint. Yet, here she is, taking jump shots instead of working on her post moves. The timing of this couldn't be more obvious. It looks like a reaction to the Fever's authentic training videos gaining attention, rather than a well-thought-out development plan. Basketball analysts have criticized the video for lacking substance, claiming it emphasizes style over fixing real areas of weakness.
If Angel Reese was my power forward, and he saw this chart that we're looking at right now, and I see that when she's close around the basket finishing on layups, she's shooting 42%. And when I see Camila Cardoso around the basket finishing on layups, bottom of the chart, folks, she's finishing at a 56% clip. Well, if I'm Tyler Marsh, I am saying to myself, okay, let's make sure that this paint is not congested. So when we hand it to our big girl, when we hand it to our higher pick of the two from the 2024 WNBA draft, when we hand it to the better finisher out of the two, when we hand it to the better player out of the two offensively, let's make sure this paint is open so she has some room to operate.
You don't need to be a coaching expert to see the issue. When a player who struggles with finishing at the rim is focusing on the wrong skills, it points to either a lack of self-awareness or poor guidance in their development. Both are worrying for the future of a young player's career. When basketball analysts say the numbers don't lie, they're absolutely right. Behind Reese's flashy Instagram workout videos, the stats tell a different story, one that would make any shooting coach wince. And it only gets worse the more you dive into the numbers. Her struggles aren't just limited to close-range shots. Shooting less than 15% from 5 to 9 feet is disastrous for a post player's offensive game. Just think about that. Making fewer than 2 shots out of every 10 attempts just a few feet from the basket. That's not a simple slump. It's a glaring technical flaw that needs immediate correction.
It's just a fact. She is, it's more than a fact. She is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats. I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%.
What's especially telling is the rebounding illusion these issues create. Nearly 40% of Reese's rebounds last season came from her own missed shots. While grabbing your own miss does show hustle, when it happens this often, it distorts the numbers, creating a false impression of strong rebounding. It hides one of the worst finishing percentages for a player of her size and position. It's like basketball's version of failing upward, miss, rebound, miss again, and repeat.
Great. She can get back to building that brick house on the hoop like she did last year. With her shot release, I don't know how she gets any shots off. Well, you heard what I said. And look, the guy's being objectively just critical when it comes to basketball. With that release, how is she getting shots off? It's real slow. It's a good question.
Professional shooting coaches have identified key mechanical issues that are holding Reese back. Her release point often starts too low, typically around chest level, causing a push rather than a smooth, consistent shooting motion. Even more troubling is her habit of crossing her wrists during the shot, disrupting the alignment needed for accuracy. These aren't just minor adjustments, they're fundamental problems that demand serious technical fixes. The contrast with Aaliyah Boston is undeniable. While both play similar positions, Boston shot an impressive 55.2% from the field in her rookie year, showing what efficient post play looks like. That 16% difference between them isn't just a stat. It represents the gap between a player who consistently converts high percentage shots and one who struggles to do so.
Why in the world are we working on layups or not working on layups when you got such a problem and you're so inefficient with your inside ball game? I just don't understand it. All right. Not only that, but that release is still draggy and slow. All right. You're 4. Why are you shooting that far away? I get it. Eventually, you got to develop a jump shot. But you got to get the fundamentals down first.
Boston's approach to improvement really highlights the disconnect. Her training focuses intensely on the fundamentals, footwork, finishing with touch around the rim, and developing her left hand. All skills that directly address the demands of her position. In contrast, Reese's workouts feature perimeter shots that she rarely takes, let alone makes, during actual games. All while ignoring her clear struggles with finishing inside. You don't need to be an expert in player development to see the problem. Reese is focusing on the wrong areas. When a 6'3" post player with poor finishing stats is sharing workouts filled with 3-point attempts, it raises red flags about her self-awareness of her role and weaknesses.
Gonna lead the league in brick layups and single-handedly keeping their team out of the playoffs once again. Look, I'm watching for some real interesting things to happen this year. Can she cure the layup issue? That's a big one. Number 2, will the Chicago Sky sideline their real superstar, Carmilla Cardozo, for Angel Reese? That ball should be feeding from the outside in through that big that can absolutely dominate.
The gap between what the numbers say and the focus of training isn't just frustrating, it could be a career ender. In a league like the WNBA, where roster spots are limited and development windows close fast, spending time on the wrong areas is a luxury no one can afford. Longevity in this league isn't measured by social media followers, it's about growth. What we're witnessing from Clark and Reese right now could determine whether one becomes a future Hall of Famer and the other fades into obscurity.
But now they're in that world. And so my only advice is usually just to make sure they keep basketball the main thing, because at the end of the day, that is your vehicle. It's your vehicle to, Angel Reese has a podcast. It's her vehicle to be a podcaster, right? Whatever Caitlin ends up doing, it's the vehicle to get you to that point. So you always want to make sure that part doesn't fall.
Veterans like Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird didn't stay dominant for 2 decades by chance. They continuously evolved their games, honing new skills and adjusting to ever-changing defenses. This formula for long-term success is something Clark seems to grasp instinctively, while Reese appears to be taking a completely different path. Just look at Clark's focused approach to growth. She's targeting the exact areas that challenged her as a rookie, tightening her ball handling under pressure, adding to her mid-range game, and finishing through contact. This isn't random practice, it's a calculated evolution, following the footsteps of multiple-time MVPs.
She's back in her natural habitat, back in the lab, playing basketball, and it's got to be a scary sight for the rest of the WNBA if she gets even better, because it's not as if she wasn't absolutely phenomenally elite as a rookie and arguably the best player in the league after the Olympic break.
Meanwhile, Reese's priorities remain strangely divided. As her social media following grows, her fundamental basketball weaknesses are being left unaddressed. WNBA history provides a harsh reminder. There are plenty of high draft picks who faded out after their rookie contracts because they failed to evolve beyond their initial strengths. The same defensive strategies that exposed Reese's flaws last season will only get sharper unless she makes a major shift in her approach. Experts in player development often point to the second year as a crucial turning point, a time when players either fix their weaknesses or get relentlessly exposed by their opponents. Clark is seizing this opportunity with a clear sense of urgency, fully aware of what's at stake. For Reese, it seems this critical period is taking a back seat to brand deals and media appearances.
It's a balance. You have to find that balance. But when you look at some of the other athletes, particularly men, who've set a little bit of a blueprint in terms of the business and the sport, you never see LeBron miss a workout.
What's particularly troubling for Sky fans is how Reese's marketing value is quickly outpacing her actual on-court impact, a dangerous imbalance that rarely leads to success in professional sports. In the WNBA, fame can be fleeting, and when the initial buzz fades, only skill development keeps players relevant. The difference in approach between Clark and Reese highlights a critical truth about building a lasting career. Clark is laying the foundation for years of top-tier play by addressing specific weaknesses that once held held her back. Her dedication shows she recognizes that staying power in this league requires constant reinvention. On the other hand, Reese seems to be at risk of letting her ceiling be determined by the skills she entered the league with, rather than what she's willing to improve after arriving.
I just don't understand why she practices this move. She will never use it in the game, and who is actually gonna be faked out by it? She seems like she should be working on layups. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Seriously. A lot of people saying the same thing. Everybody knows what the big of deficiency there is, and it's within 5 foot. Within 5 foot of the basket. That shot had a 2-factor authentication. Okay. I can't dispute that. Forget step back shots, layup drills, man. Work on what Lisa Leslie taught you.
When we examine the Indiana Fever's approach this offseason, basketball experts are noticing something more than just viral videos. What they're seeing is the foundation of a potential dynasty. Their methodical development strategy isn't random. It's a deliberate system where each player's individual growth is aligned with the team's overarching vision. What makes this strategy so impactful is the clear contrast with teams that rely solely on individual superstars. The Fever's approach to player development ensures that every player has a defined path to maximize their unique role within the team framework. This commitment to building a cohesive team through focused skill enhancement could be the game changer when the 2025 season begins. For Fever fans, the excitement isn't just about next season, it's about laying the groundwork for something that could dominate the WNBA for years. If you're on board with that vision, drop the word champion in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss an update. Click on the video to keep watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.